Welcome back to African Wanderings. Today I'm going to be chatting about Acheulean tools, the tools that were done by Homo erectus, Homo agaster, 500,000 to about 2 million years ago in Africa and other parts of the world. But just to go back to my previous video, some people have asked me, I found a carving of a seal, big deal. So what's so special about that? Well, what's so special about it is that carvings have never been found before in this area and for any of the time zones. So it is pretty special. And then also these guys with the burnt heads, a whole lot of them. You see there's an eye spot there with burnt heads. Now there's a lot of those as well. Yeah, I don't have the explanation right now, but it is pretty special to have found them. Now, Acheulean tools, I found a whole lot of them also washed up in the area along the road that was washed by the storm. Acheulean tools are renowned, are well known. The hand axes, the beautiful ornate hand axes, you can see that one, how it's been beautifully done. It comes down to a point, so this one's point is, I don't know whether it was broken or done deliberately, or maybe when it was being used, but it broke off quite a while ago. But as you can see, beautifully ornate. Another beautiful example of a Acheulean hand axe. Yeah, beautiful example of an Acheulean hand axe. And how they were made. This is the core stone. And so this would have been a full stone, and they chop them or nap them, as they call it, nap the little pieces, and they sometimes use the pieces for tools as well. And eventually, so this one would have been discarded, busy napping it and discarded. So these were all found in the same area. And then there's another, where the classic, I guess the classic hand axe, a smaller one. That's what a classic Acheulean hand axe. Now, Acheulean is named after the place in France, Acheules, where the first hand axe was found. It's just a designation of the time zone and the fact that they were pre-sapien, pre-Homo sapien, although some Homo sapiens have been known to use hand axes 200,000 years ago. Another example of a smaller one, which is beautifully ornate and made. Now, my view when I first started studying hand axes and Acheulean tools is it was believed that Homo erectus were not cognizant, were not conscious, so they didn't basically know what they were doing. They didn't understand what they were doing, but they make such unique and beautiful. I mean, I can't understand that people would believe that there wasn't thought put into this one. Now, there are a lot of Acheulean sites all over the world. Southern Africa, there's many where you find hundreds of thousands of tools, so they're not uncommon. They're just great to find. And at universities and museums, what you find is basically the finished product. So you'll find that sort of thing. You're not going to find, you most likely won't find sort of unfinished and broken ones. Now, the one day I was looking at some of the tools. So you get smaller ones as well. And, for example, this one, it's been carved, but what would it have been used for? It's blunt. There's no real practical reason for it. And then one day I was looking and I saw that. Okay, so you can see the eye spot there, baboon face, perfect baboon face. Now baboons would have been here, were around in the area that this was found amongst the other Acheulean tools. And if you look at it, there's another front portion of the baboon face, a perfect baboon face. Now this is known as a core stone. So a core stone, which this is also a core stone, but this core stone was on the way to being a tool. This core stone was obviously used to chip away to make smaller tools. But I started looking at this core stone and I looked and I thought, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then one day that caught my eye. Now let me try and get it in focus. Or there. See the same baboon face, the snout, the eye, very similar to this one. So I looked closer, and very definitely been worked. You can see it from that side as well. You can see it from front on. So I started going to look at a whole lot of others, and I started finding more and more of these shapes, particularly the baboon. The baboon the baboon face is the most popular one, but I also started finding bird shapes, a lot of bird shapes in these Acheulean tools. And yeah, I spoke about my theory to various people, and obviously I was shot down, told I was dreaming, it was pareidolia, but I just, yeah, the more and more I looked at it, the more and more shapes I found. And it's the only explanation is that Homo erectus were conscious, they were cognizant, they were able to shape into the core stones animals that they'd seen or they saw every day. Okay, now that sounds like a very dramatic statement, and I'm going to get hammered for making a statement like this, because the first known art, Homo erectus has they found some shells in Java that had engravings on them dated at about 450,000 years. But there's a lot of debate. A lot of scientists and paleoanthropologists are saying that's not true. All right, so the oldest, I guess, officially recognized artwork is 75,000 years old, found in Blombos, which is Homo sapien, found at the Blombos cave down in the southwestern Cape of South Africa. So what am I saying? Am I making a dramatic statement? I am. I am saying that from the 50 to 60 stones that I have looked at from the Acheulean stone tools, I have seen carvings which would indicate that carvings or shapings or engravings which would indicate that they were done by Homo erectus.